Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt Legends. And today, I will be playing with a couple of the new cars that were added to the game in the last big update a couple of weeks ago. The first car is the one on the screen right now, the BMW M Hybrid V8. Oh, what a beauty! But I will also be testing the Razer Aglaia. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Because doing these things helps the channel to continue to grow, it keeps me going, and I can continue making this content for you. So if you want to see some more Asphalt Legends right here, go ahead, like and subscribe. But alright, first things first. I do not own either one of these cars. In fact, I don't own any of these cars. And it's not like there's a multiplayer free try or anything like that. So really where I'm going to be testing them out is in the content creator test that we get over here. I've already talked about this before, but basically this is a space where we content creators get to test the new cars and stuff like that. So these are races only against the AI, so this is not necessarily going to be challenging per se against the competition, but it's really more about testing the cars, looking at them, hearing them and all of that. So yes, I'm excited because man, I want to drive this thing. Alright, let's have a quick look at the stats. It's the, again, BMW M Hybrid V8 Class B car, 5 stars, maximum rank of 4058. Now, in the patch notes video that I did where it was the reveal of all of the cars and whatnot, I did a comparison between this car and the SC63, the Lamborghini SC63, which is another endurance car in Class B in a very similar rank. In fact, these two cars are very similar but different, specifically in the way that the SC63 has much better acceleration than this, but this one has much better nitro than the SC63. So they're kind of comparable in that sense, so yep, I just want to drive it. So let's get into it. Now, like I said, this is not about the challenge against the AI because you know that the AI is not challenging, but it's more about just driving the car because, yes, I want to drive this car. What can I tell you? I think it's no surprise to anybody the fact that I absolutely love the racing cars in general, big wings and all of that. And man, it doesn't get more racing than this type of what are they called? Hybrid prototypes, endurance cars, whatnot, whatever it is. Yeah, I love this. Well, I guess you could argue also F1 cars are very much the peak of racing, but still, you get the idea, right? So yeah, I absolutely love the look of this type of cars, and we got a couple of these already in the game. Obviously, we got the Lambo SC63 that I just mentioned. We got the Ferrari 499P Modificata. We also have the Peugeot, what is it? The 9X8, which doesn't quite look exactly like this because the Peugeot was trying to be smart and try to go or do without the wing. Eventually, actually, they had to put a wing back into it in real life, but whatever. The point is that we already have some of these cars, the endurance type of cars, but hey, we got another one. That makes me happy. So yes. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did drive this car a couple of times before. Oh god. I started recording this video, so I already have an idea of how this car performs. But there we go. That's our opening salvo, our first race. Let's get into a different track so that I can talk a little bit more about what I found out about this car. Now let's do a little bit of Shanghai, though I think this car really shows more of its power in twisted tracks. Obviously, this is one of those cars that is about agility. Now, it may not be as agile as the top of agility in Class B, but still it's a pretty agile car, and well, it is a fun one. This car definitely can do floaties, and that is coming from someone who is not particularly good at floaties, but even I could tell that this car is capable of that. For example, let me get into a decent curve to show you the fact that I can do some, what is it called? Punch drifting, I think. So for example, in this upcoming turn, I'm just gonna do it. So I start the drift and boom. And there it is. Right away, you can see that I can do that where it goes a little bit sharper. So yep. Obviously, you can also do straight up regular floaties of doing a 360 in the opposite direction, which I would try right about here, like this, right? So the car absolutely can do this, similar in fact to the Lamborghini SC63. I did say that these two cars were likely going to be very, very comparable against each other. And I would be really curious to see like a pro master alien player doing, you know, one of those videos where they do a lap with each one of these cars to see which one performs better in which circumstance or whatever. Because again, they're similar, but they're different, and I love them for it. They should in theory be competitive against each other, just in slightly different ways. But yeah, there you go. A little bit of, well, I mean, to be fair, this is a twisty track. So, excuse me, this is not a twisty track, so it's not exactly where this car would shine, but still, gives us an idea. Now, I could try to record that video myself, you know, doing a lap with the SC63 and one with this. But you know that I'm a noob player, so it's not like I can do a consistent enough lap where I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this is the maximum potential of the car. No idea. I mean, let me know in the comments if you want to try me, if you want me to try something like that. But honestly, I'm telling you, it wouldn't be very reliable with the results. You would just see, I mean, I would try my best, obviously, to do a good lap, but still, it would be subpar. But I guess it could work in the way of what an average player can do with either one of these cars. Because then again, the super aliens know how to extract the most out of cars. But, you know, by definition, the super aliens are not the, you know, the normal players. So maybe the question is how much use can a regular player get out of these cars? But anyway, so yeah, obviously this is a much better track for this car. And like I said, it is I would say indeed an agility based car. Maybe it doesn't have the best acceleration at 81 something. It's all right, you know. But the drift is definitely, look at that, pretty usable. Yeah, obviously you lose a bunch of speed as you're doing that. All of the cars do that. Oh, crap. But yeah, no, I think this showed that this is definitely going to be a car that is going to be a lot of fun for people. Because it may not have the best acceleration, but the rest of the stats kind of make up for it. And for a Class B, it's not bad at, what, 350 something it goes? So that's pretty dope. All right, that was a terrible drift. I recognize that, right? I understand. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm definitely gonna go for this car whenever it's made available. Which is obviously not in this season. We're halfway through the current season, so. My guess is that the car will be made available in a Grand Prix, because that's kind of how the SC63 was made available as well. So that is my guess. We'll see how that goes, but yeah. If that's the case, you bet that I'm gonna be spending some tokens to get this thing, because I really want it. What can I tell you? Like I said, I like this racing type of car, so yes. Now we're in a little bit of Rome over here. Get out of the way, dude. But yeah, it's a comfy car. It's a comfy car. And the fact that it doesn't have turbo nitro definitely will help quite a bit for people to be like, yeah, no, this is a car that I can use relatively comfortably. But by the way, can we talk about those taillights? Don't they look amazing? They kind of look Lambo-y, but they're like Lambo double, because it's like sideways wide, like Lamborghini does, but they're like overlapping. So I don't know, I think they're pretty cool. And this is something that I really like about this endurance type of cars. They have to have a certain chassis, but they can still customize the car in the light department and a couple of things, obviously the livery as well, but they can add their details to make them, you know, different from each other. The overall shape of the car is going to be similar, but they do have their own little thingy. So I don't know, I appreciate that. Next, I hope that they're gonna add the Audi one and the Cadillac endurance cars. That would be pretty dope. But yeah, all right, there you have it. That is the, what did we say this is called? BMW M Hybrid V8. Man, just look at it, man. How can we? Also, those headlights are pretty crazy, but yeah, I love it. Let's just take a minute to look at it. Just, oh man, so cool, so cool. I definitely want it. I will definitely be trying to get it. But all right, we have another car to test. And that other car is the Razer Aglaia. Now, before we actually talk about the car stats and whatnot, can we just talk real quick about how tame this car looks compared to the other Razers? For example, the Razer Tachyon. Just look at this thing. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? And I will show you the Tartarus, but unfortunately, it's not available here in the free try test, so I cannot see it. But still, just comparing this is like, oh yeah, I mean, not that this looks bad or boring or anything, but comparatively speaking, yeah, this looks a lot more tame. Now, when it comes to the design of the car, I actually don't mind it too much. It's very wedgy, makes me think a little bit Lambo-ish. Though towards the back, well, it's quite different with the little winglets or whatever these things are called. Fins, I suppose. They're quad exhaust. Oh, that's right. This is one of the cars that got the new feature where we can open the door. Yay. So at least we get to see a little bit from the inside of the car. That's kind of cool. But all right, when it comes to the stats of this car, Class S, 6-star, maximum rank of 4880. And again, in the patch notes video that I did, I compared this against the Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Now, to be fair, they're not exactly comparable, but kind of yes, but no. The top speed is kind of similar, the acceleration is kind of similar, though the handling and nitro for this car is worse than the Bugatti LVN. So technically, this is in theory, a slightly worse version of the LVN. How does it play? I have no idea, but I want to find out. Obviously, going, 439 kilometers an hour, that's considerably fast. It's about the speed of the Chiron. Acceleration of 85, almost 86, higher than the Chiron. Though handling in nitro, well, you know, nah. But hey, at least this one is not electric. That I appreciate that. Ooh, okay, right away that drift felt really good. This is my very first time ever driving this car. Well, I did drive a little bit the BMW before this video started. This is my first time driving this, so I'm just experiencing it. Oh God! All right, yeah. Can you tell that I don't know how to drive this thing? All right, yeah, that seems like a floaty car indeed. Look at that. All right, yep, floaty car confirmed. Now, whether or not the floaties are good, they're bad, they're wide, they're slow, I have no idea because I don't have enough experience when it comes to that. But yeah, no. The drift by itself, it already feels good. I mean, not the most sharp thing ever, but it's still pretty good. Look at that. Yep, yeah, definitely usable. Granted, this is not the sharpest turn. Oh, this will help though, this section right here. Okay, so here we go. Yep, all right, quite usable. Uh-huh. Perfect. Now I know a little bit more about this thing. But let's try a different track. All right. Let's see over here. Now this is a more top speed oriented track, but still, you know, we do have the big loopy section, so that definitely might get interesting. All right, let me get rid of these dudes. And yeah, let's go. So by the way, in this test that we have as content creators, we have a version of the track with AI like this, and there is also a version of the track without any AI, so that I could do like a flying lap type of thing, right? Not flying lap, what is it called? A hot lap, whatever. So yeah, like I was saying, I could do this video that I told you with the SC63 versus the BMW. But again, I don't know that that is good. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to try to make a video like that. Like I said, I don't think it would be very informative. In fact, I don't even know that I would be talking in that video would be more like, hey, look at this, or I don't know. Let me know if you're interested in me making something like that, and maybe I can look into it. But honestly, I don't know. Because maybe I mean, you already know that I'm not a very good player at all, so I don't know that my driving can provide any type of insight, but hey, at the end of the day, you know, I make videos about this game, so that could be another type of video that I could make from time to time. All right, so this drift was what, like 250 something at the worst? I wonder if I can, you know, try to make a floaty over here. No, although in this direction, I don't know that it would actually work. Ooh, at least I could try the punch drift. Let's see if that makes a difference. And you know, because I didn't mention the Bugatti Chiron, I just got curious to really compare the stats of these two cars. So I'm gonna put them here on the screen. Interesting. I don't know why I didn't think of comparing it against the Chiron instead of the LVN, but whatever. Here it is, Aglaia versus Chiron. We have that the Aglaia, it's a little bit slower, a little bit better acceleration, a little bit better handling, but considerably worse nitro. So that actually puts it in perspective a lot better for me, because I don't have experience with the LBM, but I do have experience with the Chiron. So this is like a Chiron, but with worse nitro, though in theory better acceleration. That is very interesting to me. And regardless, I'm gonna do another attempt. This time I'm gonna try the punch drift in that turn. It's just that I was thinking of doing the floaty, but it makes no sense. The floaty is in the opposite direction, but maybe the punch drift will help. And now I did without any AI so that I can try to do a decent lap, though I make no promises. I make no promises. Shockwave going in. Oh yeah, you definitely can feel the lack of nitro. Again, you're kind of used, and by you I mean I think we all are kind of used to Class S not being particularly good in general when it comes to nitro. Class S is more about speed and whatnot. Obviously there are a bunch of exceptions with cars with great nitro but much lower speed and whatnot, right? All of that stuff. But whoa, did you see that? I wanted to do a weird jump. So yeah, oh Jesus, I think it is kind of expected that these cars with some decent speed, they're not necessarily going to be particularly good at nitro, but the difference on nitro compared to the Chiron is quite considerable. All right, here we go. No, I started this wrong already. Yeah, no, as you can tell, I don't know how to do these things. Forget it. In my Asphalt 8 series of videos, when I do quote-unquote pro tests, they're called pro tests because the car at maximum rank, they're quote-unquote pro. So I test them at the pro rank. I do have a bit of a test. I call it the spiral drift test in a particular track where there's this big spiral and whatnot and blah, 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 blah. And I do that every single video, which works to test the drift of the car, but it also helps me because I practice that a ton of times because I do it every single time. So I wonder if I should get into doing something like this precisely in that Cairo track to get used to that turn, learn to do it better, and maybe that'll help indeed to figure out the drifting of cars. So I don't know, I'm considering that. By the way, oh God, oh Jesus. I can back over here to this track, but I hadn't played it with this car. Again, because it does seem to be like an agile car. So, of course, I want to test it on a twisty track. But yes, here we are. Now, like I said, obviously, I mentioned it like 5 times already in this video. I am considerably new at this game, especially with the Class S cars. Like, give me Class A, up to Class A, and I can deal with them. When it comes to Class S, that's where I'm still lacking a ton. A ton. Oh yeah, look at that grip, Jesus. But you know, I do my best to car. Someday I'll get better, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, all right, quite usable. Yeah, definitely a very agile car. Would I say that it's more agile than the Chiron? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a solid maybe. And just so as to not leave any stone unturned, I'm gonna do it also in another top speed track just to test out a little bit more of the floaty. But yeah, all right, I can tell you these 2 cars that I tested today, the BMW and this one, the Razer, definitely very agile car. Am I racing against just Lotuses? Okay, sure. Agile cars for sure. Obviously, this is more agile than the BMW, but the BMW doesn't, you know, it's not bad at all. I'm telling you, man, I'm so excited to try to get that car when it comes out. When it comes to this one, the Razer Aglaia, I know I just talked about how I don't have a ton of experience with Class S, but that is because I don't pay too much attention to Class S, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, I do have some Class S cars, and I understand that they're useful and whatnot, but I think the most fun that I get out of this game at my skill level is precisely up to Class A races. Okay, let me try this. Oh, wow, that was what, 350 I think I just did? No, not the spin, that's a 360. You know what I meant? Okay, whatever. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, yeah, absolutely doable. Now, I still don't know exactly when I'm supposed to be doing punch drifts and when I'm supposed to be doing the floaty with the 360s, but hey, at least I can do them now sometimes. So, yay! Very agile car, very fun. Though probably you're gonna suffer a little bit with the nitro if you're not used to lower nitro type of cars, but yeah, there you go. Now, as I mentioned, I do have access to test the other cars in this update. So if you want me to make videos on the other cars, let me know. I was planning to make another one where I'll be testing the Pininfarina Arena, the newer one, and the Koenigs 1-to-1. But still, let me know if you want to see that. I just don't think I want to do the one for the EMEA nor the Aston Martin, because I think you already played with those a little bit. So I don't know that I can show you anything that you haven't seen yourself. But still, let me know what you think, and if you would like me to make that other video that I mentioned, I don't know. I will be down to try, but I don't promise good results. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, it helps. Please do it. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next one. Bye-bye.